From the heart of America to the corners of the globe, welcome to Voices of Distilling, powered by the American Distilling Institute. Unearth the stories, the passion, and the faces behind every drop. Dive deep into the world where tradition meets innovation. With me, your host, Ronnell Richards. Let's tap into the spirit of distilling, where every voice is unique, but the heart remains the same. Let the journey begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Voices of Distilling. My name is Ronnell Richards, and I'm your host. But you know what? In this episode, I'm taking a step back. I may be the host, but I've got somebody joining me today that, well, let's just say that she's got some credibility as one of the best ambassadors and hosts on the whole planet.
Oh, stop.
Oh.
That's ridiculous.
I like that. No,
ridiculous.
I guess
not true.
You know what? I don't have an ambassador of the year award. I don't have a spirits influence. Oh, did I let the cat out the bag?
No.
I'm joined by Sailor Guevara, one of my very good friends and one of the recipients of our very first ever influencer awards here at ADI. And Sailor, for me, this is something that's special and
For me too.
Means a lot to me. It's an initiative that I personally brought to ADI because I wanted to make sure that we were recognizing so many of the great spirits professionals that are working to evangelize for our industry that aren't necessarily distillers, but doing such great work to help our distillers to be successful. So first, I want to congratulate you in being one of the very first recipients of that award and welcome you to Voices of Distilling.
Thank you so much for that initiative. And forget about me. There are two other amazing women also. Yeah. Erin Lee, head distiller at Fuse Spirits, who came through the Step Up program, and I was her mentor, and I'm ridiculously proud of her. And Tracy Franklin, who is a powerhouse in our industry and a very important person to recognize. So thank you very much for the recognition
we also had Virginia Miller on there too.
Of course.
The wonderfully talented Virginia Miller.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, let's introduce you to the audience. Like, you are an author. You are again an evangelist and ambassador for our industry. You do so many different things in helping distillers, but I don't want to tell your story. I'd love for you to tell your story. So if we could just start with some of the things that you're involved in right now in terms of helping the distilling community.
Yeah, I love helping people. I love helping, especially in the craft space. I think that's my niche, emerging brands. I just love finding good people doing cool stuff. And I want to tell the world, I'm just a cheerleader, really. I'm just a good cheerleader, I guess. So whether I'm writing about it for various press like Artisan Spirit Magazine, Distiller Magazine, American Whiskey Magazine, or doing virtual events with people like you, whether I'm out in the streets helping advocate or consulting for brands. And a couple years ago, I was given the incredible honor of being asked to be the executive director for Good Deeds Spirits, which is very, very important to me. It's a not-for-profit whiskey that was started by some amazing fellows, Johnny Jeffrey and John McKee from Headframe Spirits, and they passed the project off to me. So this project will fund some diversity initiatives, in our industry. So that means a lot to me.
That issues and initiatives kind of close.
I think that was not. That was probably a little intentional.
That was your brain taking over and saying what you really wanted to say.
Yep. So really, it's to help diversity initiatives that our industry to sponsor those initiatives. So that's really.
Well, I really appreciate that, and thank you for the work that you're doing. I know there's so many people out there that are grateful for that work and have been recipients of that hard work that you and others have been putting in, especially with Good Deeds. So there's this thing that I usually do, right? But like, I'm sitting down with one of the best whiskey educators in the country, and I usually have like this little known fact thing. I'm like, oh, here's a little known fact. Did you know this? Or did you know that? But I feel like I need to learn from you today. So give me a little known fact, something that I probably,
on the spot?
On the spot.
This is rude. This is mean.
Tell them how much I prepped you for that.
Zero.
I didn't prep her for that.
Does it have to be about whiskey, or can it be about, like, I don't know, something random?
Yeah. I sure can. You're one of the best educators on the planet. So yeah, give me something random. Give me something that I don't know. There's a lot I don't know.
Oh
It's
my
pretty easy. The
gosh.
bar is so low.
Oh my gosh. This is really tough. You stumped me. That's
Did I
hard to
stump
do.
you?
That is really hard to do.
That is a win. All right, so I'll move on to my my other fun question.
Come back
I like
to
to
that
ask.
one.
If something pops into your brain organically as we're
Okay.
talking, let me know. All right. So, as someone that enjoys spirits and enjoys cocktails the way that you do, the way that I know, like you really take it so serious. You've got different business ventures you've been involved in, from everything from, again, the work that you've done at Good Deeds to tinctures of bitters
Yeah.
and geez. Anyway, so I want to ask you your desert island spirit / cocktail. It's just you're on a desert island, you're doing your Gilligan thing, and you're like, okay, I need this cocktail or spirit. What is that for you?
Well, obviously, it's a bottle of Good Deeds whiskey.
Oh my God, like a true marketer.
Hi.
On brand.
Because I cannot play favorites. Okay.
Okay, then
So
let's
it's
make
Good
it
Deeds.
a cocktail. But it's
Okay.
Good Deeds. Okay.
A cocktail. Well, everybody knows I'm an absolute fangirl of the whiskey sour, but I'm also the biggest critic of the whiskey sour. I've been on this
it's screwed up a lot. It's kind of
yes, that and the old fashioned gets screwed up a lot. And so I'm always on a quest for the perfect whiskey sour.
Ooh.
And that's hard to find. And when I do find it, I go crazy and tell everybody, you have to go to this place. It's me. When I find something I'm excited about, it's like, you guys have to know about this. So it would probably be the perfect whiskey sour, especially I need something refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on a cold island or a hot island? I don't know.
It's the island of your choice.
Yeah, it would be the perfect whiskey sour.
What is the perfect whiskey sour?
Well, first you have to measure your ingredients. You have to start with an amazing whiskey as the base. Any sour cocktail, as with any cocktail.
So you got to measure? Because, Eric Owens and I went to a cocktail bar. Not going to name them
Oh, boy.
because we love you. We love anyone that is serving spirits that come from our community. But they had no jiggers.
Oh, okay.
No jiggers.
That's when you say, I'll take my spirits neat.
Not in a good way. Not in like, okay, no, just because they're so good that they can just, no.
You still use a jigger.
Yeah, okay.
Even if you're so good.
So that's where you start with the whiskey sour. The perfect whiskey sour, measurements have to be on point.
As with
Okay.
anything, right? And distillers know this, your tools.
Yeah.
Right? Your quality of your products. So you have to have, I will use egg white or Fee Brothers Fee Foam is
Okay.
like the best
That
vegan
works well?
alternative. I mean, the
Okay.
best. It's also shelf stable, which is awesome. So it's really great for behind the bar. Like
Yeah.
I tell all the distillers in your bar, have the Fee Foam. That way you don't even have to have the conversation when people are like, ugh, egg white. You don't even have to have the conversation. It's amazing. Fee Brothers, get at me. Just kidding.
No, not kidding. Call her.
Fresh lemon and orange juice.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of following like all of the amazing bartenders around the country and reading all the cocktail magazines and fangirling them, right? So I'm always looking like, ooh, who makes it even better, right? So I love the split of the orange juice and lemon juice, always fresh. And then I always put bitters. I'm a bitters girl. I put bitters in my whiskey sour. Good shake. I like to use a big cube so I don't dilute it too much, but it gets nice and cold.
I'm a big cube person.
I'm a
too.
big cube person.
Yeah.
Totally. Queen cube, not king cube.
Oh, yeah, we had that conversation before. But shout out to King Cube in Atlanta. You guys are doing great work.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, and then, if it's hot out, you put it in a nice frosty glass and, it's just something about the citrus flavors. They elevate any citrus flavors that are in your whiskey, right?
Yeah.
And then the bitters, and then,
Ooh.
you can do a little bit of simple syrup in there. If I'm using orange juice, I don't even bother with it. I like honey syrup anyway. I'm not a sugar girl. So I just feel like it's one of those cocktails that really elevates the whiskey in the cocktail.
Well, I'm sold.
That's what cocktails should do.
So that's a wrap. I think we're done.
Okay, cool.
Let's go out for cocktails.
Let's go.
No, okay, a couple more questions.
Let's go
first.
find the best whiskey sour in Baltimore. Let's do this.
Is Baltimore a good city for whiskey sours?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's next. So you have really dedicated your professional career to this business and to this industry. Where does that come from? Where did it start?
A long time ago.
That's relative. So how long could it be? You're like 32.
I know. After 2020, it feels like a long time ago. As with most people, I went into hospitality young. It seemed like a job that was easy to do, and it turns out it's highly skilled labor.
Oh yeah.
To serve people, to be attentive, to be quick, to remember things, and I was very good at that. And I liked the way it made me feel to serve people. I really enjoyed, even though I didn't make the food, them going, oh, this was delicious. And somehow I was getting congratulated for it. But I really liked that. And then when I got behind the bar, I thought it was really exciting. I made this for people and they like it. So I was just like, ooh, this is, I love it. I just loved it. And then I'm a curious person, which drove my family crazy when I was a kid. I was definitely that kid. I was like, but why? But how? But why? Turns out it was really good for my career. So I wanted to know. I would pull bottles off. What is this? I don't know what is vodka? I don't know.
Oh, you were that kid. Oh,
what is rum? What is this? What is that? And so I started asking questions. And then if anybody would give me the answer, I would get very excited about it. So if a sales rep walked in the door or an ambassador and I asked a question, they gave me the answers, guess whose spirit I was using all the time, because I was like, I know something about this. And then it turned out the guests really liked to hear information about it. They thought it was cool. And I just fell in love with that exchange. And then I really fell in love with storytelling. And it turns out I was really good at that too. And so when I moved out from behind the bar, I went into brand advocacy. I really love sharing the story of the people behind the brand. So it's people doing cool things. I like telling people about, where whiskey comes from. And I like talking about things like how did it travel in the 1800s, I just thought it was so cool telling these stories. And I really just loved the exchange. And then later in my career, as I matured as a person, I started recognizing there was a problem with a lot of the rooms I was standing in, with the type of people that were showing up for this stuff. And I'm like, where are the women and where are the people of color? And so I started to dedicate myself probably about 15 years ago now to outreach for women and bringing women into this industry however I could, whatever tools I had. And then the same for bringing diversity into our industry. And the minute you open up the room and you open up the space and you invite everybody in, like that beautiful exchange I felt was like times a million. Times a million. Our industry right now is so much better than it was last year and the year before, and certainly when I started.
I appreciate you talking about that, and kind of let's go down that road a little bit further and maybe address some of the obvious things. I think sometimes that when you have a group or an industry, whatever, where there tends to be a majority of a certain type of person or whatever, it can be a little bit scary to think about other people coming into that space or that have different maybe values and different cultures. And so what have you seen? You said our industry is so much better now than it was before. What is it? Speak to that person that maybe they're a little afraid now, or maybe they were afraid then. What makes you say that? What makes you feel that it's a better place because of all of the other entrants into our world?
So when I first started in the industry, I rarely worked for women and rarely had female colleagues. And I rarely had women show up to whiskey tastings, for example. And the way I was treated by the consumers, by the guests at my tasting, was not good. I was sexually harassed. I was spoken down to. My knowledge was challenged more than my male colleagues, who I hopefully knew more than they did. I certainly tried to, because I knew I would be challenged on everything. That doesn't happen anymore. It's me.
Wow.
Part of it is that me. I know now how to command a room, but it also things have changed. So we can all agree that we like to drink. Those who drink. It doesn't matter where we come from, what we look like, the color of our skin, our religion, any of that. If we are all vodka drinkers, if we're all gin drinkers or whiskey drinkers, we can agree we like this spirit, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the starting point. That's the commonality between us. The minute that women started to take leadership positions, especially in the craft space, everything just felt different. The space became safer. And same thing when I looked around a room and I'm like, oh, this person who's a leader or an owner of a brand is a person of color. Everything began to change. We still have so much work to do, of course, but that change has made us better because we have different voices, we have different perspectives, we have different point of views. And now I notice when I'm hosting an event that there are people who look different that show up now. And we are all enjoying the same thing. We're there for the whiskey, right? We're there for the cocktail. We're there for the gin.
That's fantastic.
It's not hard.
You know, first, thank you for the work that you've done. Part of the reason why you feel the way that you feel and others can feel the way that you feel is because of that hard work that you've had to do over the last 15 years, being in those rooms and representing, because representation matters, right?
Very important.
There's something that you said as we started this conversation that I don't want to get missed. I don't want it to be missed as well. I think can be very powerful for our distillers out there. And that is the importance of getting into these restaurants, getting beyond just the beverage directors and engaging with the people that are going to be serving your spirits and making advocates out of them, right? You became an advocate for these brands, which means she sold more of your stuff. So think about that as you're trying to grow your brands. Get out there, educate the people that are on the front lines of this business. And then you never know, that person could be the next spirits influencer in our business. And there's someone that you nurtured and educated years ago. I think that's powerful.
I agree. I mean, it's not that simple. It's hard to get out of your distillery, right? It's hard. I mean, you're buried in work and meetings, and there's so many barriers right now in our industry. So many barriers still. You know, yay, New York. Let's keep doing that. I think that things are changing in our industry, and how we're approaching sales is changing. And, you know, as we see more problems with, you know, distribution and things like that, I think it's building relationships to me. So it's reaching out and inviting in the people that you want to have your spirit in their hands, right? In a way, I feel like perhaps, I don't know, it's different for every brand. That's a better channel to go than worrying about sending a salesperson out into the market. That's very challenging right now, especially if you're a small emerging brand.
Yeah.
There's a different way for everybody. I think that's what's important, is there's a different way for everybody. And I believe that most brands know in their gut what they should do. And I think that there's a lot of people like me right now, especially after 2020. Some of us are just aging out of working with a single brand, that are here to help. Like, call me up, email me, find me on social media. How can I help you? Is it just a conversation or a phone call? Let's do that. I want to see our industry get stronger. But the focus, as you said, bars and restaurants, is don't discount those people that also want to find, they are looking for the next cool product, right? Like, look at any of the big mixology influencers. They do want the next cool thing. Yeah. They do care about quality. So why are they using the same gin that everybody else is using, right? Why is that? Well, we know some reasons why, I don't have to say it. But think about that, you know, the next cool thing is you. The next cool thing is your agave, your gin, your whiskey, your vodka, your rum. You are the next cool thing. So go to those tastemakers and give them your product and give them an opportunity to go, this is really cool. There isn't always that pay-to-play barrier. Not always. It's there a lot, but I think that human connection, to me, you can leverage that.
That's awesome. Again, congratulations on your award. thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with me. Please share with our audience, those that want to connect with you, they want to work with you, they want you to help them with their brands. What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
I have a website, sailorguevara.com. It's my name. I'm on all the social media. I'm pretty easy to find. I also just want to say really quick, thank you to all of the people that paved the way before me to help me be able to do the work that I'm doing. I just want to make sure that I said that. And congratulations to everybody else today that won an award or was recognized for their hard work, because it really means a lot. It really does. I dragged my butt down here to Baltimore because it means a lot to be here.
Well, and it means a lot to ADI. This is the work. This is what we want to do, is recognize folks like you that are helping to lead in our industry. So again, congratulations. Thanks for sitting down with me. And thank you all for hanging out with us. And make sure you catch our next episode. And if you're not a member of ADI, first of all, what are you doing? One of the things I want you to see, I want you to understand, is that we are about the distilling community. So whether you're a distiller, whether you are an ambassador, whether you are a beverage director, we want you. We are your community. Come hang out with us. See you next time.
As we conclude another episode of Voices of Distilling, we want to extend our deepest gratitude to you, our cherished listeners. Your support is the lifeblood of our show, and we are endlessly thankful for each and every one of you. If you've enjoyed our conversation today, please take a moment to rate and review our podcast. It truly helps others discover these spirited stories. And if you wish to further support our mission, consider becoming a member of the American Distilling Institute. As a member, you'll dive deeper into the world of distilling, gain access to exclusive content, be a part of our dynamic annual conference, and immerse yourself in a community where knowledge and passion converge. Visit our website, distilling.com, for more details on how you can benefit from membership and contribute to the vibrant tapestry of distilling. Until our glasses clink again, remember, every drop has a story, every voice a passion. Raise your glass and cheers to the heart of distilling.